Welcome back to Montana ProStart's video tutorial series. This is our management team tag along, and in many ways it is one of the most important videos. It's the first one that deals with creating the menu, costing the menu, and that's oftentimes the trickiest thing that we deal with. And it's often the first one we've done with it's also, the first one we've done with professional sound quality. So let's see if you can hear my voice between slides. Hopefully that's working. So we're up to the sample menu. This is a dozen menu items. We're still starting at the same point down here, number 6. It's a sample menu. Maximum page is 1. That's one of the changes here. We used to allow you to go 2. It's exactly 12 menu items. It is a representative menu. What should, would, could be on your ultimate menu. Really important to point that out. Some teams have struggled in the past with how do we get everything we want in the concept on this menu. Well, that's not the goal. This is just a model of what would be on the menu. First example of what you shouldn't put on this: alcohol. It's prohibited. It is a 5-point penalty to use alcohol for one of these items. Beyond that, we need to look at our concept. If we're starting with a food truck, that's going to be a unique situation because, of course, your common food trucks really usually have only, this is a very popular one, for example, and this only has 7 menu items. It's going to be unusual that a food truck would offer 12 items at once. So we're going to have to bulk this up with a dessert, a couple of drinks to get up to our 12 limit. If we're looking at QSR, kind of the strip mall concept, we might be right there already. This is an industry leader, and it's got about a dozen items on this menu as is. No changes needed. We are in the airport, and we're more of a full-service sort of TGI Fridays, Bennigan's type of restaurant, so we're definitely going to need some tweaking. This is 2 out of 3 pages of TGI Fridays menu, and as we can see, we are well over the allotted menu item count already. And we haven't even included beverages and such. So we would trim that down, and this would be the wrong way to trim it down. Just hack down the middle and show 12 from random sections. We've got all mains here. No beverages, no appetizers, nothing. So the correct way to do it would be to kind of cut and paste and select items that are representative of the concept as a whole, which we see here. For Rude Food, we are going to be open most of the day, 24/7, depending on the airport schedule. And yet we're only going to serve breakfast and lunch, no dinner items. You know, lunch and dinner, kind of the same thing there. Breakfast 24/7, lunch 24/7. So there's our menu breakdown. We'll throw in a couple of drinks. Throw in our concept, and this again ties back to why it's nice to have the logo. Kind of helps keep us on point on message for the restaurant moving forward. Threw in some American fonts to represent the concept, and then we just kind of start flushing it out. We've got the basic model here. Start with some breakfast, some lunches. We can tweak these later. Remember, it's a rough draft right now. Reflecting our ultimate menu count of 12 items, we trimmed the drinks, kind of bumped up the lunches by 1. Filled in the drinks there. Start filling them in with some explanations. The explanations are required on the menu, exactly as you would want it communicated to the customer, is paraphrasing what it says in the rules. Start filling them in there. There you go. You can pause and kind of tear into what we did, but yours will be much different concept. At this point, we move on to the next stage, and we've got to price out the menu. This has been done the hard way too many times. Do not ideal cost all 12 items. And let's explain what ideal costing is. There's really 2 different ways that restaurants cost menus: ideal costing and competition costing. Missing the G there for some reason. Couldn't afford it. The better, more thorough, respected industry standard is ideal costing. In a real world situation, you'd want to ideal cost every single menu item, but doing it right now at the high school level, it's hard and it's not required and not even necessarily the best approach, even if we were forming a real world concept right now. What we want to do is competition costing, and that's going and seeing essentially what the competition does. Usually the owner will do one of 3 things, depending on their impact in the market. They'll choose, say, the bulk of their menu to be on point with the competition. A couple items they want to sell more of for whatever reason, they'll price below the competition slightly, and they'll hope to make money by pricing a couple items above the competition here and there, figuring they can get away with it because they do it excellently or a variety of reasons. This is AKA the copycat method. So for Rude Food, we would copy other full-service sit-down airport pricing. You know, we'd visit airports. You can do that via their websites and see what the market leaders in our industry are charging. That was a project that was done online for us. Google, okay, Google, what does it cost to, et cetera, et cetera. And we developed this at first, kind of start breakfast one at a time, and then we flush out the lunches and the drinks. Then we sit back, we get feedback from our mentor, our peers, mom, dad, our educator. Based on that, we altered some things. 888, this appam, that's an Asian-inspired dish. Remember, we're in a market, so we're kind of trying to aim to hit American, European, Asian, all the main traveling contingencies. So we hit 888 on that price point because Asians love ordering items that are $8.88, Chinese speakers especially. Oatmeal is $4.99. We can change that. There's some things we can change, and we kind of try and relate them to each other. We have reasons why we do each one. Oatmeal, we lowered the price of. There's methodology behind each one. A lot of them are related. The chef salad, for example, has a lot of ingredients. It's very labor intensive. The BLT, we house cure our bacon, so we had our competitor was not doing that, so we've got to charge a little bit more. So that's how we end up with some of those changes. We did it. That was one of our biggest ones. Let us know if you have any questions. It's one of the most important ones, along with the next one. In the next one, we are going to have to do an ideal cost on one of our items, but we don't have to do it on all 12, thankfully. So that's the Management Team Tag-Along Series sample menu. Mic drop. Video out.